first of all, we're talking about 3 different red grape varieties.
Are we?
Well, no, you're right. We're talking about 2 different red grape varieties.
Okay, so Syrah, Shiraz, and Petite Sirah. Why don't we start with Petite Sirah, because that is the odd one out. The other 2 are the same, so what do you know about that one?
Petite Sirah, it's a little grape with a big, bold flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So Petite Sirah, Derif, Pelleracin, and what's the other?
Syrah.
And Syrah.
Yes.
They got married, they had a baby.
Uh-huh.
The baby was Petite Sirah.
Boom, give him a cigar.
So it's a big, bold red wine, as opposed to Syrah/Shiraz. What do you know about the difference between that?
So what I know about that is that some people will say that Shiraz is actually is a town in Israel, and they'll say that that's where that's from because they also make wine. But the existence of Shiraz, the grape, predates the existence of grape growing in that village. So we know there's not an A to B on that one. What we do know is that Syrah was brought over to Australia and was possibly mislabeled as Shiraz, which is Scyras. And then over time, colloquialisms develop, and that's where we get Shiraz. That is the best theory that we have right now. So 2 of them are the same, but they do equate to stylistic differences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you typically expect if a label said Shiraz versus the same, a different bottle says Syrah? What do you expect?
Well, given that Shiraz typically is found in Australia, which tends to have a warm climate, especially where they grow it, I usually expect a very bold wine, a rich wine that has huge bounties of black fruit, lots of black pepper on the nose, and I expect it to be pretty high in alcohol. The tannins I'm going to expect to be about medium. The acidity is going to be relatively low, but it's going to be a banger of probably 14.5 to 15% minimum. If you're going to have something that's a Syrah, how do you think of that one?
If it says Syrah on the label, I'm expecting it to come maybe from the States, US, California. But knowing that Syrah is also one of the grape varieties of the Northern Rhone, those then delve into different stylistic differences to me. I expect maybe a little bit lighter, more restraint.
I think it's actually a good call. I think I'm on the path of saying Syrah from the Northern Rhone does feel a little bit lighter in terms of body. Because again, it's not as warm there as it is in Australia or California for that matter. I would say that it doesn't hinge on fruit quite as much as it does on tertiary aromas. What does Syrah smell like for you?
Ooh, I don't seem to be able to pick up one of the really key markers of Syrah, and that's black pepper. So for me, I get a lot of really beautiful blue and black fruits, and then I also get a little bit of that earthy, leathery character, especially if it's aged.
Yeah, I'm on the same note for you. But when I think about it in California, I usually expect to somehow kind of split the difference. I usually don't expect it to be quite as big as a Shiraz from Australia, but I do expect it to have those tertiary aromatics that kind of lean into pepper, blackberry, and usually just skirting the ripe to overripe side. I want it to have that tension of having acidity and strength and bold character.
These are big red wines.
They sure are, and we wouldn't want them any other way.